Hello, dear friends. The tide is turning, but the media pretends it's business as usual. Opinion piece. Where's that Atlantis? The divine plan is in full swing. The one world order is dead. The orcs have surpassed their masters. The dark side no longer demands but begs. Many are still in kindergarten. The dark side has left no stone unturned. Liberation has taken longer than expected. In the end, it will all come like a thief in the night. Let's start. Pleiadian commander Hatton says the current clique is more evil than the civilization of Atlantis. He states that is the culmination of the worst of the dark side since this planet was formed. The civilization of Atlantis was evil, but the clique and all its allies have surpassed even what could be imagined. This is why the battle for good on Middle-earth has taken longer than expected, as it is a planet of free will. He adds that the divine plan is in full swing, and that the final hours of the dark side are at hand. The battle has been long and arduous, with many difficulties, roadblocks, and unexpected twists and turns, by the Creator always wins. There have been broken promises, abrogated written contracts, plots and attempted attacks, even to the destruction of Mother Earth. The dark side has left no stone unturned in their attempt to control this planet or destroy it, as they have done with other planets in the solar system and beyond. As you know, Earthsham has been the prison planet for the orcs, and they have done their job well in controlling this planet since the beginning of 20,000 civilizations. There have been endless wars and destruction of millions of people, as these dark beings have returned many times to continue their goal of world control. The Phoenix Diaries have another name, but I don't remember it. Have explained how these tricks have been played on humankind, and who have been as blind as a bat. However, during these last few years, in 1989, when the first journal, the Phoenix Journal are the name, when the first journal was written, there have been many who have awakened and are seeing for the first time the tricks of the dark side. Many are still in kindergarten, but there are workers of the light who have gone to great lengths to awaken others and have cleansed much evil from the earth. Turning the tables. Many times the dark side has been asked to come to the light, but they have refused. Now goodness is at its peak, and the dark side does not demand, but begs. There are meetings at the present time to educate these beings. The octopus is finished with all its tentacles. There have been very little, if any, word of truth coming from the media, but they are scared and go on with their agenda no matter what. The truth is leaking out, and the dam is about to break, because the evil cannot last much longer. I want to give you a word of hope, not despair, a breath of fresh air, to know that everything is now in the right sequence and at the right time for good to be happening, despite what you see in the media. I don't have the exact minute for takeoff, but I know we are on high red alert and watching Mother Earth very closely. You must go ahead, as if you have plenty of time, for no one should sit back and say, "Oh, Mother Earth is entering the fifth dimension, and I have nothing to worry about." I congratulate the workers of the light for all that you have done to help Mother Earth. Keep working on your contract to the end. Do not lose hope, but know that the dark side has been defeated, even if you do not see much evidence. Victory is here. The light has won. Heed the words of Sananda, in quotes, I will come as a thief in the night. Mother Earth will turn on her axis without warning. Remain faithful. I am what I am. I am the creator Godaton of the one light of creation, Adonai. Economy. The stock market falls at the start of June. Don't fall in love with stocks or they will break your heart. J.P. Morgan, chief, warns of the next economic hurricane. Cryptocurrency. In plural, cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin miners sell their currency to cope with headwinds. Tether holds reserves at Capital Union Bank in the Bahamas. Companies. Elon Musk tells employees, come back to the office or leave, but 52% of the workforce would rather take a pay cut than return. Zombie companies face a slow death as the era of easy credits ends. Google's owner paid a typical worker $296,000. Telegram owner strikes it rich. He fled Moscow 15 years ago after channeling the Kremlin. Telegram founder and CEO Pavel Durov is one of the richest men in the world. Telegram has more than 500 million active users and a market capitalization of $30 billion. Durov has a fortune of $15 billion according to Forbes. Supply crisis. The supply chain problems are not over yet. Oil climbs to March highs after partial European embargo on Russia. 7 US states top at $5 a gallon as inflation rises. Gas war escalates as Russia curbs supplies to more buyers. Gazprom has completely cut off gas supplies to the Netherlands. Grain futures plunge on Ukraine export prospects. Honey could be used to make computer chips and reduce electronic waste. Invisible chains of appetizers control that you read and watch. Europe. The West is over in Europe, but volatility and uncertainty remain. French journalist killed in Ukraine brings death toll to 8 reporters. France is investigating the death of journalist Leclerc Imhoff in Ukraine. The war in Ukraine has already killed more than 4,000 people. Australia's Labour Party wins an absolute majority and will govern alone. Spain. The President of Canary Islands claims the leadership of the islands in the New Europe. 4 IBEX 35 stocks end May with outstanding results and gains of more than 25%. Americas. Explosion in Colombia mine leaves at least 14 people missing. Colombia. FARC dissidents confirmed the death of leader Gentil Duarte. Peru celebrated National Potato Day. 2 fires affect key copper projects in Peru amid protests. Peru's Manuel Pulgar will chair the Commission of the Climate Crisis. 4 Honduran departments on yellow and green alert due to rains. Security crisis in Ecuador. It is the country with the highest increase in homicides in the region. A group of Venezuelans in Ecuador fears deportations with the mobility law. Honduras commemorates 3-day amid the accelerated destruction of its forests. Honduran women raise their voices to demand health and education. Mother's Day is celebrated in Nicaragua amidst joy and mourning. The Peruvian president denounces an irrational persecution against him. The leader of the Ladies in White detained in Cuba for the 17th time this year. Repsol renounces its right to buy an oil concession in Brazil. Central America and the European Union will renew political dialogue with a meeting in Panama. Russia. Russian oil producers stay one step ahead of sanctions. Russia defaults on bond obligations, triggering insurance payout. Russia state Kit TV claims a world war has begun as Britain sends arms to Ukraine. Putin tells Trump, in quotes, "Save your country now before it's too late," according to Michael Baxter. In quotes again, "They blame me for their economic problems. They say I am the reason why energy prices are so high, the reason why you don't have food. This is ridiculous," Putin said. He also expressed dismay at the ease with which short-sighted citizens were caught by false flag attacks. In addition, Putin refuted rumors about his poor health. Asia. Beijing says supply chain break sabotage China's development. Chinese traders say aluminium stocks they financed do not exist. China finds GPS jammer to divert course before space launch. Xinjiang police files hacked. China is scared because they contain information on human rights violations. Melting glaciers threaten 7 million people in Pakistan. Middle East. US troops seize the Syrian air base at Tabqa. Israel used an indirect chemical weapon against Gaza, Palestinian NGO denounces. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.